Hey, Rosebud. Are you loving loudly or are you performing quietly?
I don't know.
Today, we're going to unpack Taylor Swift's. We're going to continue the life of a showgirl, and we're going to specifically focus on tracks 4 through 6, the hidden meanings that critics are spotting, where they are on the charts, and what these songs say about how couples, specifically in our case, how marriages, how it relates back.
Yeah.
And to the Do We Have to crew, thank you again for joining us on another episode of Do We Have to, a marriage podcast. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Emily.
It's a Not Actual Studios production. Executive producer is Colin Schmedia Maskell. I almost froze there for a second. Got scared.
Like I did last week.
Yeah, that's right.
Or the week before, I don't know.
And hopefully everybody had a wonderful Halloween. As Emily just had mentioned, she did experience a tiny bit of stage fright in one of our last episodes. But our most recent episode, we did our first ever movie watch along.
Yeah.
We watched a scary movie, Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Emily did a great job with it, The Dream Master.
I will never watch it again.
And she absolutely loved it, every second of it. But highly recommend you go to, and you're watching this now, at youtube.com/@DoWeHaveToA Marriage Podcast. Or you can get us on every major podcast app provider. And, of course, you can also go to our website at dowehaveto.com. And on today's show today, not only are we going to be breaking down Taylor Swift's Life of a Showgirl tracks 4 through 6, but we're also going to get back in our 90s nostalgia. We're going to get deep with each other and pull another card as we record live. We don't know what the card is. And we will be announcing our top 20 of our Peloton team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a big week. A lot has happened since we've sat down and talked again.
A lot has happened.
World Series happened.
World Series did happen. That was wild.
Toronto did not win like I wanted them to, but Papa Ron's happy.
Yep. Dodgers won, came back. I did not see that coming. I shouldn't have gone to bed.
No.
I thought for sure when they were up 3, it was going to be, that was it. Chiefs lost to the Bills.
Shocker.
Everybody's freaking out. It's a very Kansas City thing to do. I mean, Kansas City is great fans, but we do have a tendency sometimes to overreact to things. Patrick had his most statistically worst game he's ever had in his career. We had multiple offensive linemen that didn't practice majority of the week. And, Buffalo played a great game on top of it. I mean, they're a really good team. And we lost by 7. So
I feel like we always lose in regular season, and then postseason it matters more, and we win.
Well, here's the thing. We got to get to the postseason first. So
I know.
The difference
clearly
between,
we're not in it right now.
Well, I think that's the other thing too, is I think a lot of people have that attitude too, where it's like, oh, well, we always lose to them in the regular season. We'll get them in the playoffs. We're 5-4. We've got to get to the playoffs. So the game itself had a completely different meaning than it normally does. Normally, we're both the tops of our division. Buffalo currently, as it stands right now, is number 2. We're number 3 in ours. So it's just a different season. It's a different NFL season altogether. I mean, you've got teams winning and losing all over the place. It seems like there's parity there more than there has been in recent past, and the NFL has always had parity. So, but we're going to be continuing to support our Chiefs and Travis and Patrick and all the other gents.
Chris Jones.
And we wish you the best of luck for the remainder of the season. Enjoy that bye week, by the way. I wonder where everybody's going. Where do you think Taylor and Travis are going to go?
Probably back home with Taylor.
Where's back home for Taylor?
Well, probably either New York or Florida or...
They're just going to go off somewhere and just chill for a
Virginia.
while. Well,
I mean, she has
country,
13 houses, so she can go anywhere she wants, whenever she wants.
And hey, did you hear about our defensive tackle, or not, Jesus Christ, our left offensive tackle, Simmons? He came back. He's back in Kansas City.
Oh, I hope everything was okay.
I hope so too. And if you're not a Kansas City fan, or if you're not familiar with what's going on there, we drafted in the first round offensive tackle from Ohio State University, and he's fantastic. And the crazy thing is, we should never have been able to draft him. He should have gone in the top 10. He just had he hurt his knee, and so his draft stock drops him, and we got a hold of him, and it's awesome. He's a great player.
I really do love how Coach Reed handled the situation. He wasn't going to talk about it, give details or anything. It's a family matter. He's taking care of family. He's taking care of business. And that, I think, says a lot more about Coach Reed as a human being than just football. He knows this is just a game.
Yeah.
And family is truly the cornerstone of life. And so I think that was really, really important.
I think that's a really good point too. And I think with marriages and relationships and all those sorts of things, just giving out information doesn't necessarily always the best way to go things. There's things that need to be kept close to the vest, especially when it comes to personal matters. And I think the Chiefs did a great job with that. I know that a lot of people had a lot of anxiety about it because it was the unknown, but obviously the guy had something serious going on, and it's just good to have him back.
Yeah.
So look forward to seeing you on the field here shortly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got deep into the Chiefs there, didn't we?
Sorry, can we just sidetrack for 1 second?
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
Colin.
Yeah, it's your show.
But it's been quite a minute since we've had a Sour Patch Kid moment.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to say we had one last night, and I wish I had stopped and started videoing it. But if I had, she would have stopped doing what she was doing.
Maeve?
Maeve was telling me about her day at school.
Okay.
And this week she's like the star student. So like this week is all about Maeve. Maeve's favorite things. She was talking about 2 little boys in her class, which I won't name, of course. But she was talking about them.
She's not talking about them like she likes them, is she?
No, she was really frustrated because I think she was sitting by them or was standing in line by them.
Okay.
But they kept trying to get her like looped into their trouble. And she like, you know how when I get angry, I like clap?
Yeah.
She is snapping angry.
At the boys?
Yeah. She's
Saying
like,
get their shit together?
Blink, better stop doing this. He did this, then he clipped up, and then he clipped down. And like she is just going on, and like the whole neck thing is going, the snaps are going. And I was just like, oh my goodness.
Is that just would you say that's a female thing?
I think that's my maiden name coming through, but
I don't know, because Aunt Jess does it too. I mean, there's several women in our family
that could be her maiden name
do. Well, no, I mean the clapping and the
I don't know. And I kind of want to know, like, did I evolve from snapping to clapping? Like,
I don't know.
Because I do the neck thing.
I do clap sometimes, like when I'm trying to, like, it's normally with Seamus though, because like we're doing something physically active and I'm trying to get him to pay attention, and I will clap, but it's not like clapping every word though, like you ladies do. It seems like that's
she was like
a female
on
thing.
it, and I was just like, oh my gosh,
it's impressive.
She is fired up.
It's good to have a Sour Patch Kid moment back in there.
Yeah, sorry, it was just super cute.
No, it's absolutely fine. Hey, this is your show, our show. We can talk about whatever we want.
Yeah.
I mean, people can listen. They don't have to listen, but it's our show. So, and thank you for allowing us to get deep, guys, into some Chiefs and some Halloween fun. But again, like we had mentioned, go out to our archives. We do have a movie watch along. Feel free to watch it and listen to our commentary.
Because it'll be the only time I watch that movie.
Yeah, we'll be back. Who knows? It seemed like people enjoyed it. There was more people watching it than normal. So maybe we'll do it again with a different kind of movie. Yeah. Speaking of getting deep, we're not going to get deep yet into each other, but we are going to get deep into the 90s.
Yeah.
And as normal, 90s nostalgia, Emily and I are babies of the 80s. We're children of the 90s. We grew up with Surge soda, MTV.
No,
you never drank Surge? Oh, Surge is fun.
Was it that like fluorescent green soda?
Yeah.
Like I probably had it a couple of times, but my parents weren't. Like it's not something we had all the time. It was like kind of like my feel on Mountain Dew. Like it's just nothing should be that color and go in your body.
Yeah, delicious Surge, Pogs, all kinds of fun stuff.
Pogs.
See, there it is. We lived it all. We miss it all. And we like to dive back into what was happening during the time that we're filming the show. And of course, this is a wonderful evening of the 5th of November. And so we're going to track everything from the 2nd of November to the 7th. So essentially, happening in the 90s. I mean, this is a big one. I'm sure you remember. Well, you weren't very old. You were 5. But like, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about here. But
yeah, I do.
November 7th, 1991, Magic Johnson announced that he is HIV positive.
Yeah.
That's wild. Do you remember too? I don't know if you remember this or not, but like we'd go rent a video at Blockbuster. I remember like they used to put out like, oh, you know what? We didn't even rent out video. It wasn't even rented at Blockbuster. It was, you could go to Burger King and you could join this kids club thing, which was just getting a kids meal. And they would put like you'd get a VHS tape of like a single episode of like Teenage Mutant Turtles, Captain Planet. Oh yeah. Fucking It's amazing, right? Now, I remember on one of those tapes, there was literally like a PSA campaign about HIV awareness, and it was Magic Johnson. And I think it was like in 1992. Yeah. No. So like you get a little commercial about, AIDS awareness and, that sort of thing. It was like mixed in with a kid's tape. I just remember vividly like, oh my God, that's terrible, And of course, the way HIV was treated back then is completely different now. I mean, they're treated like this horrific, you're it's a plague, and kind of thing. And now, people obviously have it today, and they're living with it with the medicine and the improvements. And obviously Magic's still doing just fine. Of course, he had the means to make sure he could have all the advancements in medical technology. Well, no, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, as opposed to, an average Joe citizen that would have to counter that disease by going through the medical system and insurance. Thankfully for him, he had done very well for himself from a NBA career, and I'm sure that did help in regards to his treatment and care. But he's one of the best athletes of all time as far as when it comes to basketball. I absolutely love to watch him. And he did come back temporarily, and he also participated in the Olympics with Michael Jordan, and they won the gold.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yep.
I was going to say the only thing I really know about Magic Johnson is that he was a basketball player and that he has AIDS.
Yeah, well, he played for the Lakers. He graduated from Michigan State. They went to a storied rivalry with Larry Bird. Really good. If you get a chance, there's a really great ESPN 30 for 30 documentary. I think you would really enjoy, because it talks about him and Larry Bird too. I do enjoy in college, because they played each other in college in the national championship game as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Larry Bird went to Indiana State University.
Yeah,
and he got them all the way to the fucking Final Four. How crazy is that?
That is cool.
Hasn't happened since for Indiana State. Shout out to Indiana State University. Maybe you get back there one day, guys.
I say that's not a good look, but
yeah, but but I think it was one of those things too. It's like, I think for a period of time, people, when he came back, I think there was people that had a lot of trepidation about playing a sport with him, because if for some reason, he gets a cut or something like that. And so you have this kind of like mass hysteria, which, and rightfully so. I mean, and when I say rightfully so, I mean, I can understand the concern about it. Absolutely. And, nowadays too, the way sports are treated are completely differently. Referees and people like contact sports wearing gloves, if there's a bleeding, like how they treat people getting injured, it's all different now. And, you see a lot of that starting to change as these things are happening. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. November 7th, 1994 again. So November 7th again, first full-time internet radio stream goes live. WXYC in University of North Carolina. Wow, that's cool. And I saw this and I was reading through it and I was kind of but it was a beta that launched. It was regarded, first traditionally like as just a station broadcast, but the WREK beta launched. And obviously this led to how things are today. You know what I mean? Things are, you have streaming everywhere. Mm-hmm. Not only, not only audio content, but video content as well. And I didn't realize it went that far back where you started, doing a streaming service like that. Well, I shouldn't say streaming service as if you're paying for it, but like just a streaming offering for media. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that is really cool.
1994, I was 10. You were 8.
Yeah.
And streaming started happening.
Yeah.
It just took a while to catch on, as most things do.
George Foreman.
Yeah, 1994, again, November 5th. George Foreman, at 45 years old, becomes oldest heavyweight champion there's ever been.
Is this before or after the George Foreman grill?
It would have to be...
Or same time?
No. Well, it's got to be around the same time. Because, it's got to be around the same time. Because he was originally...
That's the only thing I know him for.
You know what happened when he was... The first time he won the World Heavyweight Championship, right?
No.
Well, first he beat Joe Frazier. Like, fucking... And when I say beat, I mean, like, 30 seconds, first round, just beat the dog shit out of him. And Frazier just beat Muhammad Ali. Fast forward, he goes and fights Muhammad Ali in the Rumble in the Jungle in Africa and loses. That's when the whole rope-a-dope, Muhammad Ali leaning up against the ropes maneuver happened. He basically wore George Foreman down, just let him beat on him for an extended period of time until he tired out and then knocked him out. And then George did not win another title again until he was 45 years old. Beat Michael Moore.
Okay.
You know who Michael Moore is?
No.
I feel for Teddy Atlas. Michael Moore seems like a nice guy. Teddy Atlas was his boxing trainer. You know how like your boxer in the corner and they're giving you instructions and that sort of shit, like in between rounds, or they're yelling at you from
the guy that puts the ice on you.
Well, I mean, there's a whole corner crew. Oh. So you've got people that work on cuts. You've got people that do that type of stuff. And then you've got the guy who's like your coach, giving you critiques, updates, and things strategically you need to do. Teddy Atlas was the one. And it seemed like he had a really tough time keeping Michael Moore motivated.
Got it.
So Michael Moore, wins the title and then turns around and then loses it to George Foreman. And there was the match before Michael Moore, Teddy Atlas, like during a round, sat down. They ended the round. Teddy Atlas sat in his chair. You know how a boxer will go and sit in the chair? He sat in his chair, wouldn't let him sit down. He was so frustrated with him about how he was performing. But he got him through it, and he won the title. But then, unfortunately, he turned around and lost.
I'm sorry.
I don't think Michael Moore won again after that, won another title. But talented guy, just seemed like, unfortunately, he just didn't get it going. But George Foreman knocked him out. It's pretty awesome.
Nice.
And congrats to George. Rest in peace, too. Seemed like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And the George Foreman girl is thebomb.com.
We don't own one.
We used to, didn't we? Like a long time ago when we first were like living together.
Probably.
I mean, I had one when I was a kid for sure. It was
You had
definitely
one in college.
Sure. It was very popular, especially back in the 90s and 2000s, early 2000s. God, you know the whole story behind that too, right?
Now it's the air fryer. Yes, the Hulk Hogan fiasco. Yeah. We
So
talked
Hulk
about
Hogan,
it.
have we talked about it on the show?
Pretty sure we have.
I don't know.
But we can dive into WWE crap later.
Oh, okay, fair enough. All I can say is that Hulk Hogan had an opportunity to have the George Foreman grill and have his likeness on it rather than George. Unfortunately, he did not call his manager back in time, and they gave it to George. And that ended up making him well over $100 million, I believe, estimate. And Hulk Hogan went with the Tropic Thunder food processor.
I thought he was beef jerky.
No, it was like a Tropic Thunder, like vegetable grinder food processor thing that didn't do anything. Yeah, pretty crazy. Let's see. November 2nd, 1993, the Honky Tonk Angels releases, which is Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, and Tammy Wynette. So 3 different kind of generational country stars coming together, working together to create music gold.
Yeah.
And
I love Dolly Parton.
They were certified gold. And, as far as, again, it's kind of that, it was a good example at the time, even though I think people look at advancing opportunities for females and feminism and those sorts of things. They relate that, I think, now to more modern times, but that stuff was happening back then. And this is a really great example of that.
Yeah. And that album was based off of another singer's, songwriting and legacy, and it was Kitty something, but I can't remember her last name, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Well, anytime you get like all stars from different eras coming together to make music and it's actually good, can't beat it. Well,
they were 3 independently strong artists, and they had great careers. And
they were able to share this.
Does.
Yeah, and they were able to show that they could be progressive, successful, independent women, but yet still work together harmoniously to create something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton is one of the, she is a smart businesswoman.
I mean, you have to be to get, how long has she been what she's been for forever, right? I mean, what is she in her late 70s?
Yeah.
Early
if
80s?
Not 80s. Yeah. Her husband had just passed away too, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have to be strong.
She has...
Speaking of somebody like Taylor, you know what I mean?
I was going to say,
who's
she plays in
empire.
really well with the, how we're getting ready to talk about Taylor, just because nothing she's done in this industry has been by accident. She is well thought of, well educated on her platforms. She has a goal in mind and she knows how to get there and do it smartly. Yeah. And I think people just look at her and assume she's, big boobs, dumb blonde, but she is.
You think that's the MO?
So much more
for people.
I don't think so.
Not so much anymore. Maybe back when we were younger, I guess. I don't know. I don't feel that way, but maybe I don't know. I will say though, I do think it's just one of those things, right? You can be very talented. You can individually do a lot of things. Your ability to collaborate and work with others, and not just anybody, but people that are important, or for a marriage, being able to work together in a relationship and actually have output of positive things. It's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And I think you're more successful than if you're just individually driven. Your ability to also not only be individually driven and be disciplined, but then also your ability then to get outside of that and collaborate and work with others.
Yeah.
Yeah. November 3rd, 1994, and this is season 1. which is crazy. 1994, that's when the show came out. Friends, episode 7 is the one with the blackout. And this is the one where, this is where you're starting to get into homosexuality just being, and as it should be. I mean, a normal part of culture, a normal part of society. It's it's a relationship preference and a physical.
People are like starting to talk about it.
Yeah, it's not
openly.
a taboo thing. It's not something that's negative. And a part of that episode is, there's people that were under the impression that Chandler was gay, and it's funny. Now, granted, there is some not great optic things to it because it's like, oh, it's a bad thing if you think I'm gay. Because that was the thing when we were growing up, right? Like you would say gay or things like that as like it was demeaning, and you weren't. At least for me, I never in my mind was thinking, oh, you're a person who likes guys. That's why I'm making fun of you and saying that name. But those words, that word, which unfortunately has power, was a derogatory word that was used all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And God, that is one thing not great about the 90s and those sorts of things is our inability to kind of be a little bit more empathetic in some of those words. I feel like we've overcorrected now, not with those words, but like just in general about how sensitive people are to things. Back then, I think we could have used a little tightening up.
Yeah, probably.
Would you say? Yeah. So, but yeah, no, and it's just interesting. Those kind of, relationship assumptions, things like that we do. And that Friends was just a great show that kind of not only highlighted relationships, friendships, marriages, dating. It did it all. And then obviously you have this cultural phenomenon that presents these types of issues and makes them, turns them into more of a positive thing. Yeah. And this was definitely one of those shows. Did you watch, were you watching Friends back when it first started?
No, I wasn't allowed to watch Friends when I was growing up.
My mom watched it I think it was initially on Tuesday, then it went to Thursdays. But as it got more and more popular, she loved that show. She watched every season of it.
Yeah, I watched it. I mean, I watched it all on my own and I love that show, but no, not growing up.
Ross and Rachel, when there's the whole, we were on a break. Who do you side with on that?
Rachel.
What? They were broken up temporarily.
No.
Here's the thing. Well, it's different because we're married. I was about to say, you temporarily leave me, girl. I'm going wild. But first off, I don't have the time or the energy to even engage with another human being, female, or any human being in general, and when it comes to a relationship. So actually, I'm out on that. However,
no, I'm out.
If you're dating, though, you're not married, and you're taking a break, if you meet somebody else and fool around with them, fair game.
No.
No?
No.
And she also wrote that 5-page long letter or 10-page long letter. Remember?
14.
You're not going to read all that. 14 pages. That's right. You're not going to read all that. It's insane.
Front and back.
Thanks for letting us get deep with you guys in the 90s nostalgia. And, we have that every week. Feel free to go to dowehavето.com. You guys can reach out to us, comment, tell us if you remember all these events or anything in particular. We'll gladly talk about it on the show. But yeah, comment, we'll have socials that we'll give out at the end as well. And we always try to include shorts on our 90s nostalgia.
Yeah. Now, let's get deep with each other. We
are going to get deep with each other. So as we do most weeks, of course, with our watch along that occurred last week on youtube.com/@dowehavetoa marriage podcast. Mm-hmm. We did a movie watch along, so we didn't do any of our normal segments we do every week. We're back at it. So let's get deep. A game by Relatable. That's the name, By Relatable. I don't know why you did that, By Relatable.
Well, it used to be, What Do You Meme?
No, that's the game they came out with that was super popular.
Oh, my bad.
They're known for What Do You Meme? The company's name's By Relatable.
I see.
So you have to, when you say it's by whatever, you have to say it's by Relatable. And it sounds stupid. So maybe, I don't know, quick name change. It's not like anybody's going to know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's multiple versions of the game. There's ones you can utilize for dating and relationships, which is one Emily and I utilize normally on the show. Now, we have purchased a couple since then, and we will be introducing new versions of the cards, which also focuses on friendship. We got that one. There's a family one now, and there's an after hours, in case you want to talk about sexy time, which Emily always likes to do on our show.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. And there's 3 types of cards, right?
Yep. Icebreaker, deep, and deeper.
Right. And what do we got today?
A deep card.
Let's do it.
We've got, what childish thing do you still enjoy and why? I enjoy coloring and puzzles.
It's interesting. you say that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess coloring, I guess, is so associated with children and young children that I guess you can call it.
Because I'm not drawing it. I'm coloring it in. Like I'm coloring a paper.
Yeah, coloring in the lines. But I mean, there's just so many, like nowadays too, like the studies on how therapeutically that can help and that there's adult coloring books now. I mean, I don't know if it's so much of a children's thing anymore and just a human thing therapeutically you can do.
Okay, fine.
No, that's not what I was saying.
That came out wrong. Swing.
Yeah, swinging. Multiple sexual partners in a given time. And you're aware of it and you have an open relationship. Absolutely.
Swinging on the swing set. Like I like when we go to the park and the kids want to swing, like I always get on the swing set.
You can color. And again, see guys, marriage, right? You don't have, just because I state something about something, my opinion, doesn't mean you need to alter your opinion or what your answer is.
Yes, it does.
And you have a tendency, my love, to do that on a very regular basis. I'm not telling you this to debate you. I was just saying in my own mind, I'm thinking it through and I'm like, well, it's not so much childish anymore. That's where things are now. I'd still consider it a child thing. So you're absolutely fine. Coloring is absolutely fine. You're keeping the coloring answer. I don't want to hear about swinging.
Well, not,
and all the
not,
weird stuff you're up to.
Not
See,
that
and this show, this game was talked about on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on Hulu, which also did have a swinging scandal. So
yeah, but we don't, and we will never.
About this.
Yeah, we will never have a swinging.
Either way,
situation.
Just because I interject an opinion about something doesn't mean I want you to change your answer. Matter of fact, I want your answer to be as authentic as possible at all times, unless it's annoying.
I like to color, and I like to do puzzles.
Love it. See,
you're next. Go answer your question. Get off your tangent.
Mine's probably comic books and video games, but it probably more comic books because I probably comic books.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's an adult. But it's things like you start when you're a kid, though. I mean, I love comic books. I love the idea of heroes and villains. I love the story arc of good versus evil. I'll never stop. Never. Yeah. But video games is probably a tie for that. I love video games, too. It's a awesome de-stressor. It allows me to connect better with Seamus in certain regards. Also, it tends to be sometimes a tool of tension between us as a family and our children. But for the most part, it's overall positive as long as we're keeping our eye on it. But yeah, I would say it was probably a combination of those two. And also my obsession with the Beetlejuice cartoon show as well as Goosebumps.
So ridiculous.
And again, guys, see, it's very, and let us know, dowehavto.com again, or comment on our video, like, share, subscribe, youtube.com/@dowehavetoamarriage marriage podcast. Let us know what is your childish thing that you still do? And do you even consider it to be childish? Or nowadays, would it be considered to be childish? But back then it was really associated with kids. Tell us about it. Let us know.
Yeah.
And that's a fun thing about that game, guys. And, getting deep with each other is fantastic. Lately, we've been getting deep with Taylor Swift and her new album, amongst other things like her engagement, her recent appearance on the New Heights podcast. Shout out New Heights. We've been diving into it. We did break down initially not only did we break down the engagement, her being on the podcast, those are all separate episodes that are in our archives, but we also broke down recently the first 3 songs, which were Fate of Ophelia, Elizabeth Taylor, and Opalite, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And today we're going to be breaking down songs 4 through 6, what are those, my love?
Father Figure, Eldest Daughter, and Ruin the Friendship.
And these are interesting because, initially those first 2, I mean, and I said this today when we were dropping the kids off for school, did I not? This is steadily becoming one of my favorite Taylor Swift albums.
Yeah.
And I know there's not everybody shares that sentiment yet, but I think that's going to be something that more people, besides myself, will be saying as time goes on. And it's interesting. These 3 songs, they're I don't want to say mellow, but they're like slower, a little bit more, not chill, but they seem to be more introspective, which I know that's kind of been a knock on the album itself, is some people look at it as surfacey. Now I know we've talked about that and said we don't feel that way, but I feel like these ones definitely are pretty introspective.
Yeah.
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 And so, initially when we're talking about Life of a Showgirl, right? Again, just to reiterate, and again, we've talked about this on previous episodes and most people know this. It's Taylor's 12th album, right? All the songs have been in, the Billboard top charts. At one point, I think all of them were together at the same time. The Fate of Ophelia, I think, has been the most popular one, which, has been the main release. Travis even did the Fate of Ophelia dance after scoring a touchdown not too long ago for the Chiefs, which was fantastic. But they've spent multiple weeks at number 1. And it's just an ongoing, Taylor Swift's an ongoing phenomenon of a great human being who does amazing music. And we're going to talk about it today.
Yep.
So let's talk about father figure.
Yes.
So do you want to break down kind of number one, initially, where did this song kind of come from as far as, because this one's not completely a cover, but it relates
it's not at
to
all a cover.
Well, right, but it relates to, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said a cover, meaning you're copying the song exactly or essentially kind of making a small twist to it, but it's the song that it was. But there was some likeness to George Michael.
Yeah. So it's, George Michael has a song called Father Figure.
And she wanted to be able to use that.
Well, she wanted to be able to credit him.
Oh, got it. Okay. So she reached out to his estate because he recently passed.
Right. So she uses an interpolate of a melody. So that is...
What the fuck is an interpolate?
That means that they re-recorded a part of the pre-existing melody.
Okay.
Instead of using the original already recorded melody.
Like that. Okay, cool.
And that also gave her the ability, by doing that gave her the ability to list him as a writer.
Oh, cool. So she could give back to the estate. So then
he gets credit.
Nice.
And the money from proceeds and things like that go to the estate, not to the people who own his masters. So this song is a big fuck you.
That's dope.
To the industry who don't allow artists to own their own art. And
well, they're able to, but you have to amass, like what she's been able to do. You have to amass a certain amount of wealth. I mean, to be able to get your foot in the door of the music industry, you kind of sign away a lot of the rights to the things that you create, which are something that's so really personal bad. To you. Yeah,
I think it's wrong. In all honesty, I really do kind of think
it's a shit industry when it comes to that. It takes advantage of very creative people that otherwise wouldn't be able to get the platform that they have. You know what I mean? So it is kind of a balancing act or hand in hand. Hey, you want the ability to even get a platform to be popular, you're going to have to give over some control or rights to things that you create initially under our album, but we'll give you the resources to do it.
Yeah. I think it relates a lot to her relationship with Scott Borchetta, which was, just a horrible manager. Human being for her.
Well, I mean, he took
advantage of her.
Don't mean he was 100% awful to her all the time, but when it mattered most, when the chips, he took advantage, right?
Yeah.
And again, like in relationships, you can, again, being great, you said it perfectly. Being great 90% of the time is great, but like if you're not great, if you're not doing the right things by your partner or your friends for the important 10%, like what is your value from a relationship perspective? It's not good. And that's why that guy is going to be forever known as an asshole. And it doesn't matter the other 99% of what he did for his job. He might have done a lot of great things for her, but ultimately when it really, really mattered most, he did wrong by her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's not as like glitzy kind of as a song. It's very more like edgy.
I like it.
But like I think the bluntness of it is exactly what this one needed. In the movie that I took the girls to with Gigi, she was the clean edit version is that my check's bigger, which I also loved because
you're talking about the line, I do deals with the devil because my dick's bigger. Yeah, I love that.
So
line.
like it is just like you think you have control and power because you're the man, but really,
or you're the entity in power, right? Or you have the industrial position, but you're right. Mostly it's a man. Yeah,
I've got the power.
Yeah.
I've got it. And the line like I protect the family, like the family. That's her art. That's her music. That's her creation.
It's her legacy.
And so like she's protecting it, and she's going to do anything and everything to protect it. And I think that's, as an artist, she's not just saying that for herself. Behind the fact that she gave George Michael the credit, that's going above and beyond and like giving that power back to each and every artist. Like she is trying to do right by everyone in the industry.
I mean, she's being an insanely thoughtful human being that's really thinking through everything and being very analytical. But I think that's also why her music's so great. You can see these signs of how analytical she can be. And she's using it in a positive way. We can be in analysis paralysis. We can overthink things and not make good decisions. You're seeing here is a human being, a woman that really is methodical about what she does, but then takes action.
Yeah.
And that's really, I mean, it's just a cool thing to see. And it's a great example for not just girls, for kids too, boys, men, anybody can take from this and see how positive of an impact it can be if you really actually put discipline and thought into the things you're doing and are mindful of other things and be mindful of yourself. Obviously to her, and this is a good point.
Protect yourself, protect your legacy, protect your identity.
Right. And then we get in relationships, and I think a lot of times people lose their identity in relationships and in marriages. And you have to be your true, authentic self. You have to advocate for yourself and what you are. It doesn't mean your partner's trying to take that away from you, but these things naturally happen in relationship dynamics, especially as the environment changes around you. Because it's not just you and your partner. It's not just you and your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it may be, or you and your friend. There's a whole environment of other people and other things that are happening you don't have control over that can manipulate and massage into something that can end up being negative. And if you're not focused and very adamant about who you are authentically and what you want and what your legacy is going to be, you can end up being in a bad situation. I think she's lived through that. She's been in a situation where she had to fight to get her identity back. Like what she created, her baby was taken from her, and she couldn't be her true authentic self.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just good. It's good advice, or it's a good example for anybody. You just to live an authentic life,
be loyal
to go
to
after
no one but
what
yourself.
is really important to you, and don't let outside voices dictate that. Including your partner in the most positive ways, not like you don't listen to your partner or whatever, you don't respect him, but you have to bring your authentic self to the table if you're going to be the best couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Father figure though, I always ask this because we're going through the album. Is that your favorite?
No.
No, it's not mine either, but it's a great song.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about track 5, babe.
Yeah. Eldest Daughter.
Oh, hey, one thing I did want to mention, and I apologize. One more second. It did peak in the top 10 at number 6. And that's as of last week. So
okay.
That may have changed, but I'm pretty sure it has not.
No.
Anyway, sorry. Let's talk about track 5 though.
Yeah. Eldest Daughter.
Eldest Daughter.
I love this one. I am not an eldest daughter. I'm actually a middle daughter.
I'm an eldest son. So,
but,
shout out, Papa.
This is going to sound weird. I almost sometimes feel like an eldest daughter sometimes.
Yeah. Why?
Well, I have a younger sibling.
Right.
And she and I were very close.
Sure.
But I did a lot of the first of the three of us. I was the first to go away to college. I was the first to get married. I was the first to have kids.
Sure.
I was the first to move out. Like
You're saying you're doing life events that typically the oldest or the eldest would.
Right. I led a lot. And the identity that a lot of eldest daughters hold, like being the perfectionist, needing to take care of everybody, needing to make sure everybody's, good and going, I feel a lot of. But I really, really liked the idea that this was broken down into a relationship standpoint.
Sure.
Because she is the eldest daughter. Travis is the youngest. So it was
interesting. Well, I guess that's a good point.
It's about where she says, I'm never going to let you down. It's the vow to her romantic partner.
I do love that, by
and
the way.
It is also a nod to survival mantra for herself. Like, she's not allowed to let anybody down. She's not allowed to, be the problem.
People that matter.
But she's also going to be loyal and take care of, her partner. She's the one that holds everything together. It's also to me, I pulled a lot of she's telling everybody that she's being vulnerable when she wasn't allowed to be vulnerable before.
Yeah.
The line where she says, oh, sorry.
You get
the wolf thing.
The wolf thing.
Where she's we dressed as wolves and we were fire.
Oh God, yeah. Yes.
And they were the first sacrifice. It's okay. So now she's found her partner.
Yeah. Which
is Travis, and she's able to take that mask off and be herself. So to me, there's really 4 themes within this song. It's one goes back to mine on the Speak Now album. Do you remember the song Mine that said, you made a rebel of a careless man's careful daughter? Mm-hmm. So like, that's a nod back to that when I feel like the internet is mean and cruel is the other thing. So it's like nothing you read online you really can believe. And she said it herself, just because her name's a part of it doesn't mean it's any of her business or that it's anything to do with her. She's loyal to a fault sometimes. And she thought she was or needed to be too cool for a love like Travis. So like she's picked all the wrong guys before. They've all been behind the scenes kind of loves. And now it's like very out there and very open.
Goofy, gangly looking bitches, I might add.
And but this love is like very out there, very fun, very carefree, very wild.
I mean, I think it's very thoughtful though too. I think those things can come off as like carefree and wild when in reality there's you get freedoms in relationships where when the relationship is being run as it should be. And you and I have experienced a long period of time where that wasn't happening. And I'm sure we felt like a prisoner within our own relationship. And now you do feel much more liberated to be who you are, whether it's the good and what can be perceived as the bad. But
and I wasn't trying to make it sound bad. It was I'm
not debating you. I'm just saying like, I get what you're saying. And I think people have that mindset, but I'm just saying, I think sometimes those can be overlooked as carefree, but really more of, no, you're just free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think this gave a really good viewpoint from like truly behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely.
To what you're perceived as on the outside. Like looking
and that shift of caring about what your perception is on the outside to a sense of like not caring about the people that don't matter what they think and being who you are and knowing to be loyal to the people that appreciate you for who you actually are.
Like looking from the outside in, you don't really understand it, but looking from the inside out, there's no way you can ever really explain it.
I mean, that's the thing, right? It's like, and I will say this, maybe people be able to hear this and say he's fucking nuts. I don't think you should have very many friends. I just don't. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible to have a lot of friends. Because I don't think, and I think people misunderstand what being a friend actually means. Because it's not always, hey, we get along and we like the same stuff and we hang out, we have laughs. Like there's friendships, relationship, whatever. There's so much more meaning to it, and the idea of loyalty, I think, is lost on a lot of people now. And loyalty means, you obviously you have your own boundaries with that relationship and you don't allow bad things to happen to you. But like when they're messing up or those sorts of things, you don't bail on them or do those sorts of things, which again, we'll talk about other tracks where she kind of alludes to that. There's a difference between
friends and being friendly. And I think everybody should be friendly, but I agree with you. Like, I don't think you need to have 1,000 friends.
I agree, but I don't even think you need to be like, you need to be a good person. You don't have to be nice there. You don't have to be nice. You don't need to let anybody walk over you or do these things. And I think this is something obviously she has learned, and we've got to see it unfold over a 12 album story arc. And it's real life, which is the coolest thing is like, you're talking about a more, as we all are, a young, naive human being growing up, and then you start learning about what the world really is. Then you start trying to adapt and change that world. Then you realize, hopefully, some of it, the lucky ones, and hopefully we have more and more lucky people every day that start to realize, I don't want to be what everybody else wants me to be. Here's what I'm proud of about who I am as a human being, and here's what's important to me. And then starting to take action based on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
The other thing that I really liked about this song was, at the end where she referenced the youngest child felt like they grew up in the wild. Like,
right.
The typical viewpoint from the youngest is that they have to always fight for attention.
Sure.
Relating it back to Travis is, he's hers, she's his. Like, there is no fight for attention. She has the attention when she needs it. He has it when he needs it. They're not competing for who's bigger in the relationship. They just are. And I think that that's really important. She's going to support him. He's supporting her. It's not a competition. Nobody's fighting for the limelight. Nobody's fighting to hide it or protect it. Like they're both protecting it. They're both fighting for it. They're both loving in it. And they're both receiving it, like exactly what it is that they need. But then also from
which
just
would be
like,
perceived that that's the treatment that the eldest child gets. I mean, it's right. I mean, it kind of circles back to that, right? The eldest child, I mean, it's perceived that the eldest child typically
gets
the most attention, gets the most, right? And so it's like you're taking that approach into a relationship, but you're doing it in a healthy way.
Yeah. But like also from, you know, having a younger sibling that,
I mean, I have a younger sibling too. So
it felt, it hit home, that last one, just like as a sibling, where it was coming home, was now it's safe, you know, like whenever I would go back home, if my little sister wasn't around, it didn't feel like home.
Sure.
But like having us all there, that was home. It's not just home with mom and dad. It's not just home with one sibling. Like we all needed to be there. And I think that's also a really important nod to her relationship, is acknowledging that he's home.
Sure. Yeah. I you know, when I listened to the song multiple times, I thought about the responsibility of the eldest sibling. I think I don't know, again, like, this is just opinion. This isn't fact, but I take a lot of personal responsibility in being the eldest. And I think what happens is that you put a lot of pressure on yourself. I do it with Seamus. I know I do.
Yeah.
But being a boy and having two younger sisters in this world and then being the oldest, like you're born into a responsibility, not meaning that it's just you know, that is solely responsible, but being the eldest and being the only male sibling, there's just responsibilities associated with that you have to be aware of. And it's really more about how you are, how you approach life, that is going to set you up for success or not. And I think that it's just one of those things. I was listening to that and it's like having that pressure, I think we tend to run away from it at times. And like you were mentioning, you're making all these decisions based on what you think you want to be or what you think other people want you to be. And then you realize what you need to be and who you authentically are is how you have to then be the best sibling you can be. Right. Or the best son or the best husband. And that's what's really important, is really kind of coming to that clarity. And it's going to be different for everybody, but whatever that is then taking action and going to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Good song. Favorite?
No,
still not a favorite yet. Okay. All right. We're still going along. Let's do track 6 then, huh?
Okay. Ruin the Friendship.
I like this song a lot.
I really, really like this song, but I also, I feel like I may take a different viewpoint in this song than most people do.
Can you go into like because she, you know, I know it references that, you know, she had a friend. I don't know, did they lose touch or did they date? And then because they dated,
I don't think
they lost touch. When they broke up.
I may be a bad Swiftie. I don't know if they ever dated, but I knew
but
that
maybe there was like a blur of a line between will they, won't they kind of thing. And then they lost their friendship over it.
From my understanding, they were just really good friends. And he would write with her and like they would do a lot of like the creative stuff together when she was younger.
Okay.
But then, I think they just did lose touch over time. But he struggled with, you know, I believe
mental health.
Yes. Okay. So like there's a song Forever Winter.
Why are you being trepidatious?
Well, because she never really comes out and says, but he did pass away really young.
Sure.
And
you don't know what the cause was of death?
I believe it was suicide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so in the song Forever Winter, she references him again, and it's talking about, you know, she was trying to save him, you know, from the depression and the anxiety and the struggles and like be his summer sun, like, you know, bring him out of the forever winter. But then I also looked into, like, I felt like it was also kind of a nod between that and like, not just that relationship with her friend from high school, but it was also, like if you go back to, Black Dog, So Long London, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, like she's talking about all of those people that, she was in relationships with that maybe struggled with like substance or depression or something like that. And it was like she really struggled to get out of those relationships, not get out of them, but let go of them. And so it's not about or staying in it or regretting so much. It's like, even if we had done this, even if I did ruin our friendship, would that have been enough to change your fate? Would I have been enough? Could that have been enough? Could I have saved you? Because I didn't save you. Could it have also, like, it didn't work for So Long London or Black Dog or, Smallest Man. Like, it didn't work for them, and they all had issues.
Who the fuck are all those people?
Like her other boyfriends.
They all died?
No, not they didn't die, but like those relationships had the same issues that this.
Oh, where they were suffering or dealing with something, and she's
right,
saying,
and
like,
she was trying to like fix it. Like she was trying to be the thing that could save them and love them out of it.
But isn't that the thing, though? It's ultimately, it's our personal responsibility to whatever we have going on with our internal selves. There's nobody else that can come save you. Even if they try, they're not going to be able to save you. You have to be the one that gets to a better place, becomes a better person, is better in a relationship, gets away from substance abuse, gets better with your mental health. And we've talked about, I've had my struggles with mental health. You've had your struggles with mental health. And I think a lot of those are more related, I think, to, medical issues and things that you've dealt with. And mine is, that's something that's been since we've been together, and we've talked about how it nearly ended our marriage. You can go to our archives, dowehavto.com, and you can listen, or go to youtube.com/Do We Have to Marriage podcast. I wasn't taking care of myself. And I think my expectation was very victim mentality, in the sense of like, woe is me. Why can't I be like everybody else? Why can't I be normal? And the thing is, I was like everybody else. It's just, we all go through struggles. The difference is, are you taking action, taking personal responsibility to get yourself out of it? And you're not going to be good to somebody like that. And I think for her, to your point, you have to get away from relationships like that. If I didn't come out of it, you should have got away from me. I wouldn't be good for you and the kids. Honestly, I have no problem saying that. If you have a partner that is showing that they're refusing to do anything to get help, eventually, I think that is one of those things. You have to make distance, and you have to do what's best for yourself, because then you're going to sacrifice yourself too. And look what she's doing. You're talking about this in the song. She's compromising herself, saying woulda, coulda, shoulda, potentially, or like, well, I could have done more. That's not fair.
Right. But I think
that she even has to own that. I
think it's her talking back to who she was younger.
Yeah, no, I know.
Like, it's a reflection.
It's like a learning experience of like, I should have known.
I've learned all of this through all of this.
Yeah.
So go ahead and let go and take that leap. Just take the chance, see what happens, because you never know.
But look how she's approaching now. See, that's the thing.
Always. But yeah,
we're
went
learning
all
from
in.
our relationship experiences.
Yes.
And that's the thing. You can do that too and still be together. You know what I mean? Like, we have had our ups and our downs, but if we're actively trying to learn in our relationship, and we're changing and trying to change for the better, but not only for ourselves, but for the betterment of our relationship, not for the betterment of the other person. Like, oh, they want me to be like this, for the betterment of the relationship.
Yeah.
And we're constantly making improvement to that. Then we're having these types of conversations like she is lyrically, where it's like, I see where I was. I know what I had to be different, and now I can take that into the relationship I'm in now,
right?
And my friendships and my other relationships. It all applies.
You can always have the what ifs. You will always have the questions, but it's why not try?
Yeah, absolutely, and take it in with you being your authentic self. I think that's the coolest thing about this album, and as we continue to dive into it, is like it's a statement album. It's a statement album of like how, in my opinion, how to live your life. In the sense of learning, growing from it, and then the attitude you take into it, which is, first is me, myself, and I, in the sense of like really focusing on yourself, but not focusing on yourself like in a selfish way, in the way to make yourself the best person you can be, to have the most profound impact on the people that actually matter, which is a very small percentage of people.
Yeah. Don't live with the regret.
Yeah.
I'd rather, answer the question than ask it for all time,
Well, and that's the point too, right? You're talking about regret.
Ask and fail, try and fail, then rather could I have done this? Would I be enough?
Let's talk about it from
Give
a
it.
life perspective. Ultimately, we're all going to be on our deathbed. And a majority of us, and I'm sure I'll have moments where I'll look back and be like, I wish I would have done this differently.
Yeah.
But you can start any day doing exactly what you want to be doing.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's starting a podcast or it's, you know, learning something you've always been wanting to learn, but you keep putting it off. If it's changing something about yourself physically, you know, getting into shape, those are all these things. The only person preventing you from making progress in that avenue is you. And if you're expecting anybody else to support you or help you, nobody's coming to save you. And so you have to take on this. When it says selfish, that sounds like a derogatory word. It's not. This selfish approach to better yourself so you can be better for others.
Yeah.
And that's why Travis too, he's the same kind of story. Look back at who he was as a human being. Not saying he was a bad human being, but look, you want to talk about somebody who's progressively learned over a period of time? Go watch Catch and Kelsey. He was great. He was fun. Great guy. But like, you don't think he's different now than what he was then? And how about before that when he was in college and he got in trouble and, you know, there were some issues with that. You know what I mean? Like, they are two people, and it should not be a huge surprise that they have found each other and they're working so well together, because you're talking about two people that have figured life out in the sense of how you go through it, understanding that it doesn't matter how successful you are or unsuccessful you are. We all experience the same things. We all have the same worries. We all have the same doubts. And it's really about how you approach it and how you treat yourself that's going to get you to the other side, and whether you're going to be successful or you're going to be a loser. And they're both winners. They really are. And they're a good example that I think you want to have positive influences to your children. They're two people in a relationship that I think you could utilize for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite song?
No.
Nice. And everyone, thank you guys so much. Again, go to dowehavето.com, shoot us a message. Tell us, I mean, we're not experts on Taylor Swift. We just love her. And we think there's a lot of positives to her. I'm sure we missed some stuff, or I'm sure there's more detail that want to be added. We'll talk about it. We're going to continue talking about this. Stay tuned for, more episodes and content on reviewing the rest of the album. We're going to take it 3 songs at a time, and we'll continue next week to come back with you more 90s nostalgia and let's get deep. But, not only has Taylor shown such a positive example, but our Do We Have To crew and Peloton team is doing the same thing by getting out there and working every single fucking week, putting in the grind. We're averaging now well over 200 hours of working out as a team collectively every week. If you want to break that down, everybody's working out at least 2 hours a week. If you want to break that down, needing at least 30 minutes of exercise a day. People are working out at least 4 times a day on average. It's fucking great. And we are building this all together. Please join us on our Peloton team. It's the Do We Have To crew Peloton team. We're going to announce the top 20 currently for this week. That can change. You can be better by the time Sunday rolls around, right? Yeah. So let's talk about our top 20. Okay. And I've got it right here. So our top 20 Peloton team, which is well over 100 strong now, by the way. I didn't know if you knew that, but I did. We have hit the century milestone for our total team. And we are international, by the way. And one of our international Do We Have To crew members is always at the top. It doesn't matter what I do or how much I work out or how much the rest of us work out on Do We Have To crew. Ever stops. She doesn't ever stop. Nope. Brown Eyes, 19 from Birmingham, United Kingdom, 8 hours flat. Do We Have To Pod KC, which is me, and you can follow me at Peloton. We can add you to the Do We Have To crew, or you can just join our Do We Have To crew team, 7 hours and 6 minutes. And I've been working out a lot, and I'm at 54 minutes behind her. So if that gives you any indication. Barbie Gal from Kansas City is at 5 hours and 37 minutes at number 3. Number 4, Rock Chalk Stelts, Yellow Brick Road, also known as Kansas, 5 hours and 11 minutes. Krabby Cakes is number 5 for Kansas City at 5 hours and 6 minutes. Michaela Bren at Kansas City, 3 hours and 15 minutes at number 6. Not a Runner Katie at number 7. Iowa Raised Kansas Teacher, 3 hours and 2 minutes. Stacy Osterthen from Missouri, 2 hours and 48 minutes at number 8. Number 9, Inspired Jayhawk, Kansas City area, 2 hours and 42 minutes. Number 10, Rich Tokum. He's been on good job, Omaha, Nebraska. 2 hours and 39 minutes at number 10, been on the top 20 regularly. Number 11, another regular one, Kelsey Lifts from Garwood, Texas, 2 hours and 32 minutes. We have another tie at a number 11, Pickleball Pillow from Las Vegas, Nevada, another 2 hours and 32 minutes. Pelodonosaurus, one of our favorite names. Kansas City Mo, 2 hours and 31 minutes. Go Unicorn Go from KC, 2 hours and 30 minutes. Fit Queen Lisa from Overland Park, Kansas, the fancy part of town, is 2 hours and 15 minutes. Raising Cane 08 from Maryville Mo, shout out Bearcats, Northwest Missouri State University. Emily's an alum, 2 hours and 12 minutes. Shanna, number 17, Shanna Banana Can, You Run, I Hike, 1 hour and 56 minutes. Kelly E. from Sunrise Beach, Missouri, number 18 at 1 hour and 49 minutes. Kat Casey Moe from Kansas City, 1 hour and 39 minutes. And finally rounding us out, another international favorite, Penny F. from Toronto, Canada. Very sorry about your Toronto Blue Jays.
I was cheering.
We were rooting for you.
Really was.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. But yeah, that's our top 20 guys, and we'll continue on. And hey, this can change. So get out there, Do We Have to crew, get working out, join our Peloton team. You don't need the hardware to do it. You don't need a bike. You don't need a treadmill. It'll track your running. It'll track your working out, and you can compete with us, and we can work out together to be our best authentic selves. Yeah. And I think Taylor would be proud of that. How about our socials, baby?
You can send us questions and comments and all sorts of things at dowehavето.com. You can send us some Sour Patch Kid moments.
Absolutely.
On our socials, just hashtag SPKM. You can find us on youtube.com/at Do We Have To A Marriage Podcast. On Instagram, Facebook, and Threads is at do.we.have.to. Twitter is at Do We Have To Pod, and TikTok is Do We Have To A Marriage Pod.
Yeah. And to the wonderful Do Have to crew, thank you again for listening to us today. Final thoughts on today's show. I'm breaking down Taylor Swift's tracks 4 through 6 of Life of a Showgirl. What do you got? You know I'm going to ask you this. I feel like...
I know, but I don't know.
We're just doing that.
I really loved those 3 songs. I think they all hit so differently, and I think that's what's great about them.
Yeah.
I would say we did my number 2 song the first time, which is Elizabeth Taylor. And then we've got my 3rd favorite, which is Father Figure.
Love it. Okay.
On this
so
one.
we're cracking the top 3. We're just not quite to number 1
Eventually we'll get to my favorite.
I like that we're holding out. I don't know what your number 1 is. I haven't actually asked you. I only asked you on the show. So I'm excited to hear what your favorite is. I've been holding that one.
Pretty sure you should know it.
I know what mine is.
I know what yours is too.
So, what I will say is, I think regardless whether you're a Taylor Swift fan or not, whether you eye roll when you hear Taylor Swift or you don't, you're obsessed with her. There's a lot of things you can take from the way this woman lives her life, the relationships she has, and how she approaches taking on life and her profession and her personal life. There's a lot of great things you can take from it. And see, I think that's a thing we tend to not do a good job of, is if we don't like it, or if we don't learn from everything. We should be learning from everything around us. And she's a great example, but at the same time can be polarizing. She's got millions and millions of fans, but there's a big population of people that want nothing to do with her. And I think they tend to run away from anything associated with her. We should all, regardless of if we're super into her or not, we should be looking around everything at life, looking for examples of how to improve or what not to do, which is exactly why we started this podcast, which is we do plenty of things in marriage that weren't a great example. We're trying to do things that are more positive, and we're seeing good impact. And that's why we have the show, so people can do that. But we need to all collectively, if we want to be better human beings, we got to start looking around at the examples about us, then applying that to ourselves, and then selfishly making ourselves better so we can be better partners and better people. And while we're doing that, and we are seeing these examples, we need to make sure that we're not being an asshole. I love you, Rosebud.
I love you too.
Wake up, I'm about to shake up every little thing, show you all that we can be. Come dance in my glow.